So for the Better Life sequence, they asked me to come in and actually tell some stories about what I consider some defining moments in my business. So that's what we're going to do. My name is Dr. Ben Adkins, and I run a multi-million-dollar internet-based marketing firm. And what we do a lot of is we teach folks how to grow their businesses using various techniques, using the internet to get their message out. So one of the main things that we do in my business is we do product launches, and not so much as these days as much as we used to do back when we first started. And one product launch in particular, I remember things were just crazy. And this was something that absolutely defined who I was in this business and who I was in this world, because it really did change me from that point forward. So it kind of goes like this. We had a product coming out, and it was called Offline Autopsy. And the whole thing behind this product was it was a product that we were doing that helped offline business owners and people that helped offline business owners grow their business using the internet. So that was the premise behind it. Now, at the time, there was an interesting setup. And the setup was basically that everybody was charging really low prices. So the market that we were working in, people were charging anywhere between $7 and $19 for what they were doing. And past that, it was just not much. So we came in and we said, you know what, we're going to actually charge a lot more than that. So I believe at the time we were just doing something that, wasn't anything super crazy, but it was more money than anybody else was charging. And I remember thinking, if this does not go well, we could potentially be in trouble. So, we came out and we put this product together and we charged a lot more than anybody else was doing. And I remember leading up to this particular thing, we were really going against the grain of the market. So I was worried. And to make matters worse, this was a point in my business where cash flow was not what it is today. And we were not making the kind of money every month that we were making back then. And I remember putting up an amount of prize money because we wanted to reward the people that helped us put out this product because we thought it was great. We put out an amount of prize money that made me extremely nervous. We're talking anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 we had put up as prize money for these folks. And I didn't know how this was going to go. I really didn't know how this was going to go. And I remember the weeks leading up to this particular launch, we had, and anybody that's ever done anything big can relate to this, but leading up to this launch, my confidence was wavering. And I just remember being like, if this doesn't go well, that's a lot of money to put up, and we could potentially go in the hole because, we were giving half of the commissions away to, affiliates anyway, plus the prize money on top. So I didn't really know how it was going to go. So leading up to this, things were changing, and we had one thing go wrong after the other. Had a bunch of affiliates that wavered and said, okay, we'll promote. No, we won't promote. Back and forth. And finally, we got down to the final day. And I remember the final day before we actually launched this thing, I had gotten on a plane because I was speaking at an event in Fort Lauderdale. And so I was on the plane working on the final pieces of the launch and was getting everything together. And the night before, just could not, focus, couldn't do much. But I was getting those final pieces, making sure I hadn't forgot anything. And I had a couple friends come in, and I remember it was really interesting. And this was a big turning point into who stays your friend and who's just around because it's good for them. And I remember there was two friends in the room. One of the friends, very negative person, and this person came in and said, you're probably going to lose your PayPal account, or you're probably going to get your merchant account taken away because you're running so many transactions through. Which was sort of a positive statement, but at the same side, kind of a negative dig. I think he was trying to loosen me up, but still, I come to find out later on this was not the best friend that I had. But just a lot of negativity and saying, this could go wrong, this could go wrong. And then I had another friend in the room who I've been friends with a very long time. I'm still very good friends with to this day. He said, man, you're going to rock it. This is going to be huge for you, and this is going to change your business. And so two sides to the coin, and this really is a kind of a metaphor for life and the friends that you have, is you always have those people that want to be around and they want to act like they're supporting you, but they're only around because you're doing well, or at least you're appearing to do well. And then you got the other friends that are there through thick and thin, even when, things get bad. So I remember laying down that night, and after everything was done and after my friends had left, and I remember laying down that night thinking about the entire last couple of weeks, thinking about the impending doom that could possibly be coming my way with the hole that I dug myself, because I'd really stepped out on a limb. I'd put a lot of money up for people to promote. I had put a lot of time and effort into this product, and I'd really bet the farm on this thing. And I remember laying there and just panic coming over me. And I think we've all been there. We all have laid down at nighttime, and you can't get in. You can't shut your mind off, and you have that panic because you know what, you could go bankrupt, or you're going to lose your job, or you don't know if this giant thing that only you seem to believe in is going to go well for you, so you're panicking. And then I remember just all of a sudden, a wave of calm sort of starts to come over me, and I actually prayed, and I said, God, if this is supposed to happen, if this is supposed to be what I'm going to do with my life, help me to do this the right way. But if it's not, and I'm supposed to be doing something else, then, it is what it is. And I understand that this is going to be telling me something one way or the other. And then I don't know, after that little prayer, I actually had a nice thought come over me. And this is, like I said, one of the defining moments in my business. I remember thinking, what, of all the people that want us to fail, of all the things that could go wrong, what can they really take away from me? They can take away my house, they can take away my bank account, they can take away my car. They can't take away, financially, they can't take away the people that I love. They just can't do that. And they can't take away what's inside my head. And they can't take away my ability to fight back, even if things go as worse as they possibly could go with my business. So I remember sitting down and thinking about everybody, the negative friend that had been in the room, and everybody to that point who had said they were going to be there, who actually didn't show up. And I remember thinking, what, to everybody that's negative in my life and doesn't believe in what I'm trying to do and the people that I'm trying to help and the thing that I'm trying to build, that's okay. Because of all the negativity, I just said, what? I can take it. This is a cross that I can bear. And it's, if I really believe in what I'm doing in this life and in this business and the people that I'm trying to reach and help, like I said, I had a great product that I knew would help people. Then you know what? If you want to come after me and you want to try to bring negativity in my life, then come and get me. And that's what I call the come and get me moment for me. And that's really been the definition of what started what I would call the better life sequence. And that's just where things started for me, because this was the point where I said, what? You're not going to ever do anything important in your life without people trying to tear you down and people trying to, set you up to fail. And so that's the point where I said, what? Instead of fighting, instead of trying to avoid these people, let's just say, come and get me. And if you think that, you've got something that is better than what we've got, you think that we deserve to fail, then bring it. And it seems kind of like a cocky statement at this point because we're on the other side of this. But at the time, it was very, we did not have the leverage that we have now. We didn't have the business. We didn't have the cash flow. We didn't have the bank account. And at that time, it was really me and my friends against the world. But it taught me something important, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter how high you climb. You've always got people that want to see you fall. You've always got people that want to tear you down. You've always got situations that are stacked against you in this life. And you can either run from that and you can lay down and you can say it's too hard or it's too stressful, or you can say, come and get me. And you can keep pushing forward, because really, nothing in this life is worth laying down for. It's really the things that are really worth, doing. The things that really define life. You gotta fight for. And that's the thing. If you're waking up and you feel like life is mediocre all the time and you're not getting what you want, and you don't feel like you're moving forward, it's because you're not fighting for something. And unfortunately, when you're fighting for something, you're always fighting against something. And that's the thing. The things that in life that are worth doing, you're going to come up against, some bad things, and you're going to come up against some stressful things. So my advice is I hope that when those things come up, you can say, listen, I know that there's adversity. I know that I could potentially fall flat on my face. I know that I could go bankrupt. I know that all of these terrible things that are going on in my head could happen. But at the same time, I know that what I'm doing and what I'm on this planet to do and leave behind is worth it. So for all those negative things, come and get me. I'm here and I'm not hiding. I'm right here in front of you. Just bring it. So, like I said, I hope that this gave you some perspective on even when things seem like they're going really, really well in people's lives, there's always challenges. There's always things that scare the hell out of us. And no matter where you're at right now, I hope that my Come and Get Me story can inspire you. And so when you're laying there at night and things are looking down or things are looking scary, say a little prayer. If you're religious. If you're not religious, then just take some stock in the fact that the universe works in a very cool way. And you know what? If you stand up for what you believe in and you stand strong, things are going to turn out great one way or the other. If they don't turn out great right away, keep standing strong. They will eventually. That's just kind of the way the world works. So Dr. Ben Adkins here. And like I said, this is one of my defining moment stories. There's a lot of them. But this one I will never forget because, like I said, it is something that completely changed who I am. And it was because we stuck our neck out and we succeeded. By the way, that particular launch, I should probably tell this, that particular launch, that thing went through the roof. It was the highest grossing launch I had done to that point. It really put us on the map. People knew who we were after that, and it completely shifted our business. But without taking that risk, without that stress, we would have never seen the other side of it. Everything worked out at the end, and we really changed the market with that launch. So it was a big one. All right. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon.